Kevala Baba Nam Kevala Baba Namo Kevala Baba Nam Kevala Baba Nam Kevala Baba Nam Kevala Baba Nam Kevala. Namaskar, folks. Welcome to the online meditation that we have every Saturdays here at Tantra Thoughts and with Vistara Circle. Here, what we offer you are meditation techniques, tantric wisdom, personal development, and spiritual community. And that's what today is all about, is spiritual community, spiritual gatherings. Okay? So thanks for joining us. In case it's your first time, let me run you through some basic reminders that we always begin with. First of all, make sure that you are registered on our email list. That way you will get invitations to different online events that we might have. Also, I have a gift for you if you sign up. And the gift is a really helpful and informative ebook. And the ebook is called Yama and Niyama, 10 Moral Principles of Yoga. So you definitely want to get your copy of that. It's all free, all of those 10 moral principles broken down for you. And have a cushion handy for meditation. Be in a quiet place. And go ahead and start announcing yourselves, please, into the chat. Tell us the highlight of your week. If you're new, definitely tell us that you're new. And if you've been here less than 4 times, please tell us how many times you have been here. Okay? All right, so let's get to the fun part and let's see who has joined us today. I see that Anushila is here. She says, Namaskar. Anushila from Raleigh. It's great to see you. Thank you all for all you do. Namaskar, dear sister. Thank you for being here. Thank you for what you do. Because of people like Anushila and the rest of you, our program is always so special. So thanks for joining us. And let's see, we also have Karen. Namaskar from beautiful Greenville, Tennessee. The sun has returned to our side of the mountains of Cherokee National Forest, and it's definitely the highlight of the week. Okay, 1.3 years here and gratitude. That's awesome. So you are 1 year in and 0.3. So that's excellent. Just as a reminder to everybody, our program is a 2-year program. And today, we are going to be celebrating somebody's completion of those 2 years. And the way that we end the 2 years is by having an advancement interview. And that advancement interview is a very special moment, it's kind of the beginning of something else. But I don't like to give all the details about what it's about. It's a secret, what you get to what you gain at that moment. And so we'll save that for when you get to your 2-year mark. But today we're going to be celebrating somebody's 2-year, their advancement interview, okay? Their completion of 2 years in Vistara Circle. Ritva from Stockholm, Sweden. Namaskar, Ritva. It's such a pleasure to have you here as always. Thanks for joining us from beautiful Stockholm. And Alicia is here. She says, Namaskar from Asheville. Welcome, Alicia. It's great to have you. Thanks for joining us this morning. And we have BJ. Good morning, all. Thank you for the invite. I'm grateful for your teachings in my life. You have been a blessing. Grateful to be present on my first visit. All right. So we have somebody new here who it's your first time. Thanks for coming, BJ. We're so happy to have you. Will everybody please join me in putting some hearts into the chat just for BJ? Okay, let's welcome him as if we were in a live gathering where we all might come up and give him a namaskar. But let's go ahead and put some hearts into the chat just for him as a warm welcome. So those hearts are coming in, and those are just for you, BJ. I'm so glad you've joined us. And here is our brother of the hour, Brother Luis, also known as Lalit Mohan. He's saying Namaskar from Alexandria, Virginia. I'm so happy you're here, brother, and I'm looking forward to celebrating the milestone of milestones here at Vistara Circle, your advancement interview. Who else has joined? Oh, we have Jamila here. She says, good morning to all. Good morning, Jamila. It's so nice to have you here. Thanks for joining us. Graciela is here. Namaskar, Graciela. I saw what Graciela posted in the Facebook group. Who saw Graciela's post in our Facebook group? This week, she wrote about a parigraha. Actually, one of the things that I invite you all to do in order to get the first official tantric meditation lesson that we have to offer, we invite people to come to the online meditation 4 times and also to start practicing the yamas and niyamas, hence why we offer that book for free. And then write about at least your experience with at least one of those practices. And Graciela did that this week. She posted about aparigraha. So it was so nice to hear your story, Graciela, about your family. Um, Growing up, there wasn't always a lot of material things around the house, and sort of how that influenced your life. But now you wrote about how kind of coming full circle to that, realizing that although it may have felt like something was lacking in the beginning, now you're realizing, maybe even from going through a period after that where you feel like you had to um, make up for that, but now kind of coming back to realize that all along you were completely nourished with the abundance of love in your family and love from the supreme consciousness. So those are some of the things that I picked up from your story that you shared. Please let me know if I got all that accurately. Okay? And if there's anything more that you want to share. I found that very inspiring. So thanks again for sharing, Graciela. And I look forward to having you to scheduling then your first meditation lesson with one of our teachers, that first official tantric meditation lesson. If anybody read Graciela's post this week, please go ahead and type into the chat. Tell us what you took away from her post. Okay? So BJ, those are Karen's hearts. All right, enjoy those. And Alicia sending you her love. And we have Cheryl who's back from Virginia Beach. So Cheryl, how many times is this now for you? I believe this might be your third or fourth time. So please let us know. It's so nice to have you back. And BJ, BJ is female. Okay, thank you for clarifying that. I apologize. I guess I assumed you were male. So welcome, BJ. So everybody, please send her your love. And I see there's some love for you, BJ, from Ritva, and some more love for you. How many hearts is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hearts from Cheryl. So enjoy those, BJ. And there's Lalit Mohan. He says, this week was spring break for my kids, so I went to South Carolina for a few days to be by the ocean. That's awesome. That's so nice. And what was it like? What's going on in South Carolina? Are you near Charleston at all? Or probably not. I'm not sure if Charleston is by the coast, actually. I think it is. But tell us where you are and tell us what you gained there in South Carolina. Okay? It already sounds amazing. Anushila said, giving her love for BJ. And then Lalit Mohan, thank you, brother. Thank you. Thank you for what you're doing and for inspiring others. And I look forward to celebrating your advancement interview in just a little while later on in our program. There's love from Jamila. Thank you, Jamila. And Graciela says, yes. Okay, so I did get that right, what you wrote in your post about aparigraha. Very nice. I found that very inspiring. Okay. And Cheryl says, what is the Facebook page? It's the Facebook group is what I'm referring to. So let me give you that link right now so you know where to find us, where to join our Facebook group. Here's the link. There you go, Cheryl. And this is your third time. Okay, so Cheryl, I invite you to schedule an appointment with me, like a check-in, all right? Just to see how our program has been working for you, check in about your meditation. Have you enjoyed the meditation you've been practicing here? And since you're close to that fourth mark, that fourth visit, then also just touch base about, making sure you have the Yama and Niyamas book so you can be practicing those principles and then writing about your experience with one of them. And then if you're interested, having you move on to get your first tantric meditation lesson, because the one we teach here is kind of like a preliminary lesson. So then that one that you would gain is like the first one of 6 of a series of 6. So it's like an initiation into these really powerful tantric meditation lessons. And if anybody has already done them, which many people here have, if you'd like to share a little bit of your experience with those lessons for Cheryl, that would be great. Please feel free to share that in the chat. Okay? And there is BJ. She says, thank you. She says, no worries. And some love back from BJ. Thank you so much, BJ. Thank you for sharing. And Lalit Mohan says, we went to Myrtle Beach. I really like Myrtle Beach. I love Myrtle Beach. That's a really fun place. Okay. Let's see here. All right, I think we can go ahead and now cover the agenda, actually for BJ, since it's her first time here. Where is it? Right here. So we just did reminders and greetings. Next, we're going to sing some kirtan music, and we'll have the guided meditation. Then today's class is on lust, envy, and anger. So we're going to talk about these three, what we call in yoga, ripus. In Tantra is ripus. The ripus are the enemies of the mind. And many traditions of Tantra and yoga have established that there are three ripus. Those three ripus are, last week we talked about the first three, which was greed, worldly attachment, and vanity. And today we're going to be talking about lust, like I said, envy, and anger. Okay, so that's our discussion for today. Announcements. I'll get to announcements later. I have a special video planned for you all to check out today in the Tantra Thoughts channel. So I'll be talking about that later. But that's what we have in store for today. So why don't we go ahead and get started? I'll begin by playing the kirtan. And let me just explain for BJ and anybody else who might be new what our mantra, Baba Nam Kevalam, means. Baba Nam Kevalam is the mantra you will hear in the kirtan, and also the mantra that I will be using during the guided meditation that I'm going to invite you to meditate with. And Baba Nam Kevalam means the supreme consciousness is all there is, or only the feeling of infinite love. So as you listen to the kirtan, I invite you to start taking your mind, expanding the mind, and visualize that supreme consciousness or infinite love, if that's the definition you like best. Choose the one you like the best. And let your mind take the shape of that supreme consciousness. Let this be like the opening to the meditation, where in the opening, you get to express your devotion. You get to call out to the Supreme and invite the Supreme to flood you with love and light in this moment, and to expand you, to help in your expansion. So let this be a very devotional part to the meditation. And if you do that, then you will be right in the flow, right in the best zone to do the meditation that will follow successfully. Okay? So enjoy that, and I will see you all during the guided meditation part. Baba Namo Kevala, 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 Baba Namo Kevala. Go ahead and get settled. Sit comfortably. Take your hands and interlace your fingers and place your hands on your lap. Monitor your lower back. Make sure the lower back is nice and straight. Monitor the upper back, making sure it is also nice and straight. And begin by focusing on the breath. And as you observe your breathing, feel that you are moving from your physical self toward your mental and spiritual self. So breathing in, deeply pushing down on the lower abdomen, breathing out, nice and slow and smooth and steady. Try to become your breath. Feel as if each inhalation is the divine, a divine energy coming into your body, coming into your mind. And as you breathe out, focus on just being consciousness. Breathing in the cosmic energy of the universe. Breathing out, feeling an expansion of your consciousness. Feel that the breath can slow down your mind. So try to make the exhalations slow, smooth, and steady. And in between your breaths, in the spaces between the breaths, enjoy being consciousness. Now is a good time to practice. If any thoughts come into the mind, let them go or see them as expressions of consciousness. And come back to your attention, the attention to the breath, and the attention to self. On your next exhalation, make an official release from the world. As you breathe out, feel like you settle in to your mind. On the next exhalation, make an official release from your karmic attachments in the mind. And feel like you are just pure consciousness. You are not bound by attachments in the mind. And continue breathing out, going deeper within consciousness. Reflect now on the supreme consciousness of the universe. Feel as though your consciousness and that supreme consciousness are one. That you are like a drop of water and the supreme is the ocean. And should you merge, should you fall into the ocean, you become one. And like that, with a longing to merge with supreme consciousness or infinite love, go ahead and start to repeat the mantra Baba Nam Kevalam silently to yourself. Try to feel as you repeat the mantra that you lose your unit consciousness and become infinite consciousness. Try to feel that you are like a child, and this supreme consciousness or infinite love is a loving, loving parent. And so go for shelter, merge for unconditional love, and surrender everything in the process. We'll meditate for a few more minutes, and I'll cue you when it is time to come back. Go ahead and start to come back. Feel joy in your mind. Feel joy in your body. Feel joy in your home, and I invite you to feel joy being here with us. Before you open your eyes, I would like for you to please connect with our brother Lalit Mohan. And let me put his picture here so that you'll be able to do this more easily. So actually, please go ahead and open the eyes. And here is our dear brother Lalit Mohan, who has completed Vistara Circle's 2-year program. When you complete our 2-year program, you get this official affectionate um, title of being a sadhaka. A sadhaka is someone who is established in their spiritual practices, established in their spiritual life, and clearly established in their spiritual community. So community is something very important. If in the 2 years you get just one thing, and that is community, friends that are doing what you're doing, friends that love you and want to support you in your spiritual goals. There's a lot of friends groups out there that are encouraging you in your business goals, and they support each other, they celebrate each other for each other's financial gains. But here in Vistara Circle, we celebrate each other's spiritual gains. And so I would like for you to please uh, bring Lalit Mohan to mind and close your eyes. And visualize our brother as if he is surrounded by us, and send to him all of your love and light. Send love for his physical needs, his intellectual needs, and of course for his spiritual needs and longings in life. Try to permeate all of the cells of his body with your love and light. We can go ahead and open the eyes, and I want to invite now everybody to please put in some hearts into the chat just for him. Okay? Um, some hearts, and any positive words, any words of expression. He's been around for 2 years. So I know many of you know him personally, and I know many of you know him, through our online gatherings as well. So, any positive words for our brother? Uh, Words of encouragement? Please go ahead and put them into the chat. Um, I just want to myself express that I love you very much, Lalit Mohan, and I'm so eager and excited to see, everything that how this spiritual expansion is going to manifest in your life, in your physical life, with all of your goals. And Lalit Mohan is a businessman. He has his own business. He has his family, his children, uh, and so I'm excited to see how this spiritual expansion is going to manifest in your physical life with all of your goals, accomplishing all of your goals and all of your intellectual goals, and um, the balancing of your emotions, which happens to all of us, right? Thanks to spiritual progress, we get to balance our emotions better. And then, of course, um, you becoming more and more uh, feeling less and less separation from the infinite. So, thank you. I see some people here. Let's go ahead and see what some folks have written. So, first of all, some hearts from Anushila. And there's a heart there from Victor. Hi, Victor. I think you're new. Let us know if you're new. Tell us if it's your first time here. Thanks for sharing your love there for Lalit Mohan. Thank you, Alicia. Those are beautiful hearts. Thank you, Cheryl. So this is all love for you, brother. And what did you feel as we were sending you this love mentally? Let us know, okay? There's Angela sending her love. And here's Lalit Mohan. Thank you all. I feel like I stumble into a gold mine being a part of this community. Well, excellent. That's great. uh, that's an interesting metaphor, like going into a mountain and where it's actually a mine, right? Like sometimes that's, a mine, if you think about it, is in this dark place inside of a mountain. But in that darkness, people find gold, people find minerals, resources. And it takes so much courage. It takes so much courage to do that job. Mining is one of the most difficult jobs in the history of the world, one of the most dangerous jobs. And but yet, it's interesting to note that what you gain in the mountain, right? So I think your metaphor is really right on, because it takes a lot of vulnerability to develop one's spiritual life. You really do go into the darkness, or at least into the silence, of one's mind and self, and to gain these jewels, right? And so the question is, inside that darkness, who can shine a light? Who can shine a light in there so that I can find the jewels and the gold? And the one who shines the light is the supreme consciousness, is that guru, the infinite, the internal guru, that guru of the universe, shines the light where there is darkness, and then allows you to get the gold. So if you found that in our community, that's great. That was the point. That's what we're all trying to do here. Thanks again, brother, for that. Michael sending some love. Hi, Michael. Please tell us if it's your first time here. Andra sending some beautiful hearts there. Thank you, Andra. And Karen, congratulations, Lalit Mohan. Jake is saying, congrats, Luis. It's a great day. Thank you, Jake. That's awesome. Chloe sending a beautiful tulip. And a heart. It's nice to see you again, Chloe. How many times have you been here? Let us know. Graciela, I'm so happy for you. And I'm so thankful to call you mi amigo. Thank you, Graciela. That's very nice. There's a beautiful song by Roberto Carlos called Tú eres mi hermano del alma. Oh, no, maybe it's just called Amigo Mío or something like that. But it's a good song. Actually, right now I'm going to play a song for Lalit Mohan. So Victor says, it's my first time here. Great. Okay, welcome, Victor. I'm so glad you've joined. Jamila sending some hearts, some big ones and also little ones to make sure that those big ones resonate more. Thank you, Jamila. And Luis says, warm filled me as you all shared your best wishes toward my journey in becoming closer to the Supreme. Okay, great. So, brother, don't go away. There's one more thing. It is a really important occasion for us, to see one of our own complete the program and attain some transformation like you have. Okay. So I hope my sound is good right now. I hope the sound is good. And I want to go ahead and share with you a song, dedicate a song to you, brother. It's a song that many of us here that I think I hope will collectively express how we feel about you as our brother. Okay, and it's from the amazing Mr. Rogers. So here we go. It's you I like. It's not the things you wear. It's not the way you do your hair. But it's you I like. The way you are right now, way down deep inside you. Not the things that hide you, not your toys, they're just beside you. But it's you I like. Every part of you, your skin, your eyes, your feelings, whether old or new. I hope that you remember, even when you're feeling blue, that it's you I like, it's you yourself, it's you. It's you I like. But it's you I like. Every part of you, your skin, your eyes, your feelings, whether old or new. I hope that you'll remember, even when you're feeling blue, that it's you I like, it's you yourself, it's you. It's you I like. Namaskar, brother. Namaskar. Like Jake says, it really is a great day, and I want to thank you so much for being my brother, being our brother, being in our community. And as he knows, it's not the end. It's just the beginning of something new, a new journey. And I wish you all the best in that. And uh, we'll see you. I mean, it's not a goodbye. it's just it's just a celebration. So let's go ahead and hear. Well, BJ has to run. That's okay, BJ. Come back next week, okay? Namaskar. And Louise says, thank you, brother. That was very beautiful. Thank you, my brother. All right. So let's now talk a little bit about our discussions for today. So we're gonna chat about first of all about lust and about anger and about envy, your favorite subjects. Everybody's favorite subjects, right? You know, our religions, like Christianity, for example, has the 7 deadly sins. The 7 deadly sins are these a lot of the same 6 ripus in yoga that we've talked about. So the overlaps are, for example, lust, anger or wrath, jealousy, envy, vanity or pride, greed. We talked about greed as well. And then, of course, we talked about worldly attachment. That's not one of the 7 deadly sins. The other deadly sins are sloth. I think I got them all now. Okay. But when religion says these are 7 deadly sins, it sounds like because you have these things, you're going to go to hell, and nobody should, and people should punish you, and you should punish yourself. And the problem with that approach is that, but actually they do qualify that, in that Christianity believes in original sin. Okay, there's a concept of original sin, that human beings have original sin. So, you know, it's good that that was qualified. I feel like that part gets overlooked. But what does that mean? It means that those qualities, those negative qualities, are inborn. Human beings come with those things. It's like a rose. A rose has thorns. The rose comes with thorns. Human beings come with that original sin. Those are the inborn qualities of our mind and our emotions. I'm not saying that that shapes the nature of human beings. No, we are far more optimistic than that. And there's far more greater qualities that human beings have than those. But they come. There are thorns that come with the rose. So when we understand that lust, anger, and jealousy are inborn, they're part of our emotional psyche, it means they will never go away. And if something is never going to go away, then you need to become friends with that. It's like having a roommate. You got a roommate that signed a 1-year lease. That person isn't going away for a year. So rather than get annoyed at them, rather than get frustrated with them, any chance you get, you try to become better acquainted with them. Oh, let's have lunch today. Let's make some food tonight. Let's go out tonight. Let's talk about, let's have a chat. Let's watch a movie together. You become friends with that person because that person isn't going away. Same thing with these emotions in our mind. You can't, just like with the roommate, you can't suppress yourself from them. You can't, oh, when they're out in the hall, I'm going to stay in my room. I'm going to wait till they leave the house. Now I'm going to come out of my room. That's suppression. Same thing with these emotions. You cannot suppress them. When you suppress them, you create bigger problems. So it's all about how to express them properly. I gave some examples last week about anger. There is such a thing as righteous anger, right? When you get mad, like I get mad, when there's racism, I get mad when there's a police officer that's trying to abuse somebody, that's trying to overstep their bounds and their privilege. I get angry when I see politicians exploit people and favor the rich. That makes me really angry. When I think of righteous anger, I think of, Malcolm X, although Malcolm X wasn't really an angry person. I never saw Malcolm X as an angry person, to be quite frank. He was always seemed to me to be like a saint, like the most decent man ever, you know, such a beautiful smile and such intelligence and charisma. So I never saw Malcolm X as angry, but yet I'm using him as as that example because he would say things that sounded angry. Like he would say, things like by any means necessary, right? It means we're going to get our rights, by the ballot or the bullet, by any means necessary, right? So that stuff makes total sense to me. That's righteous anger. That's self-defense. Those are natural, inborn qualities of all beings and peoples that they need to defend themselves. So, there is a way then to express anger that is appropriate, and I guess while I'm on anger, I'll keep talking a little bit about anger today. And anger is is out of all of these 6 enemies that I mentioned of the mind. And I know that's going to sound like something counter to what I said earlier, but how I want you to look at it is like this. I'm sure you've heard that adage that says, keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer, right? So if these are the 6 enemies of the mind, lust, anger, vanity, greed, worldly attachment, and envy, then you want to keep those emotions especially close. Though, let those be like those friends that you keep an eye on. Okay? Those enemies you keep an eye on. And you try to feel them as they come out. When you feel like you're getting angry, as soon as you become aware of that, you don't become the anger, you observe the anger. And you say, I see you there. There you are, anger. I can feel you. Boom. Right there you didn't become the anger. You're now the observer of the anger. You can now use the anger to your advantage. You can control to what degree you're going to get angry. So anger is an interesting one out of all of these because anger is usually the result of the other ones. For example, you have greed. You want to accumulate money, right? If somebody takes your money, what happens? You get angry. When you're jealous at somebody else, somebody has something that you don't have, that you want. What does that do? That makes you angry. So all of them, when they are suppressed or when you are being triggered in that area, result in anger. So anger is kind of like the common denominator of all of them, is the natural result of all of them. And that's what makes it very interesting. And anger is also a lot of times the result of fear. When we understand where anger comes from, it's easier to control anger. So anger comes from fear. Like, when a child has run away or is about to do something wrong, and the parent yells at the child and says, hey, stop, or what are you thinking? Get over here. That anger has come out of fear of what the child could do to him or herself. The child was about to go out and hang out with the wrong crowd, fall and trip and hurt themselves. They almost were gonna, all those things. So out of that fear for the safety of the child comes the anger. And when we are mad at ourselves, it's because we have some fear, some insecurity too. Like if you ever get angry with yourself, let's say you're angry at yourself that you showed up late to an appointment. So why are you angry? Because you're afraid that you missed out on something because you missed the appointment or you got to the appointment late. Okay, so anger a lot of times is just a reaction to things, but it is also an inborn quality, and it can be expressed in a proper way. For example, anxious, righteous anger. And sometimes the parent has to show that righteous anger to teach a lesson to the child. Sometimes the teacher has to show some kind of righteous anger to teach a lesson to the student. Sometimes the judge has to do that. So the judge in a courtroom. Um, Anyways, but they can control how they show that. So these are some notes on anger. If we look at uh, one last thing about anger. Anger has to be very carefully controlled because it is also very self-destructive. Mm, for example, when people get angry, a lot of times that emotion is manifested physically. When you're angry at somebody, your hands start to shake, your body starts to shake, your voice starts to tremble, you know? Uh, when you're feeling attacked, you start to breathe faster. So we've seen that, right? And when that happens to you physically, you're losing control. You can be very easily wounded at that time, very easily physically hurt. And the best warriors know this. The best warriors train their mind. They train their mind to be very neutral. Because if they allow anger to get the best of them, they know that that is a physical liability. Who knew this really well? Speaking of Malcolm X, Malcolm X was good friends with Muhammad Ali. And Muhammad Ali knew this very well. Muhammad Ali would get in the ring. He would dance around his opponents. He wouldn't even put his fists up. He'd keep his hands down. He'd dance around the opponents, call them names, taunt them, humiliate them, did everything possible to get them angry because he knew that if he could get the other person angry, all he needed to do was land him one or two good punches and that guy was out because the anger consumes the mind, it consumes the body, makes the body weak, and makes you completely vulnerable. So Muhammad Ali knew that people who can be very conniving may know that too. They know that it's worth getting you angry to make you more vulnerable, to make you not think clearly. And if you're a warrior yourself, you know that you need to really be in control of your emotions if you engage in physical battles, or if you're a firefighter and you put out fires, you need to have a very balanced mind to put yourself in those situations of physical danger. So let's go ahead now and talk about lust. Lust is, that the tendency to want to sleep around. And when we think about why people have that, why that tendency becomes dominant in somebody at any given point, is a lot of times because you're lonely. You're lonely. You You want to be with somebody. And sometimes um, the easiest way to connect with another person is to seek out somebody to have sex with, to have sexual engagement with, right? So um, people who are lonely can be lustful, can be easily seduced, and when we understand lust as a result of that, we see that what you need is you need self-care, you need spiritual company, you need good friends, or you need to find a partner. One partner that you can spend the rest of your life with. But to find that one partner, you don't need to sleep with 20 or 30 people. You put yourself out there to meet people because that's how you'll help to avoid the loneliness, but you have to be you're cautious to understand that that loneliness is not going to drive you to make the wrong decisions. So you see, when we see the other sides of these qualities, we don't see people who are sinners or degenerates. We don't label people prostitutes or whatever and point the finger at them and say and know they're going to hell. It's understanding the 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 other side of that coin that leads to that tendency. And that other side is something we can sympathize with, empathize with, be compassionate toward, right? And if you're in that situation, then you be compassionate toward yourself. And then regarding envy, uh, the Buddha had a lot of there's a lot of nice stories about the Buddha about how he dealt with anger. I won't talk about that story today. But there's a very good story about somebody who came to insult the Buddha. We've talked about it here before and how the Buddha reacted, not with anger, but with a lot of calmness, a lot of wisdom. But speaking of the Buddha, the world of Buddhism, they have the in Buddhism there is mudita. Mudita means sympathetic joy, and when we see somebody that has something that we don't want, that we want from them, rather than be jealous and feel like we're missing something and then be angry from that, we can cultivate like a muscle to have sympathetic joy for others. Be happy for them. Be happy for people. You know, you see somebody that has the perfect marriage, which doesn't exist, but they make it look like they have the perfect marriage on Facebook or on YouTube, or I mean, on Instagram. And it looks that way. If you see that, be happy for them. Be happy that in those moments they have this happiness, they're doing well. Be happy for others that have what you want. If you want a thriving business, if you want a lot of money, you see somebody that has that, be happy for those people. You know, it's very easy to be happy for people that you love already. Oh, my son got a promotion. Yes. You know, oh, her son, oh, he got a promotion. Oh, well, I want my son to get a promotion. Right? It's easy to feel sympathetic joy for the people we love, the people in our families, in our friends, people in our team, in our religions, those in our groups. But the challenge and the best thing to do to overcome envy is to develop sympathetic joy for those we don't know, those we dislike, and those we envy. And I made a video on Tantra Thoughts, a recent guided meditation to help you cultivate sympathetic joy. It's a guided meditation. So if ever you would like a guided meditation, go to Tantra Thoughts and you can try this guided meditation that will help you control anger and help you develop more sympathetic joy. So those are some thoughts on that. I'll close by, I know we started a little later today. I want to go ahead and just hear your last thoughts on this topic. So please feel free to make some comments and then we'll close. I just want to see if I missed any comments here. So Knowledge Hub said, good vibes. Hi, Knowledge Hub. Welcome. How many times have you been here? Please let us know. Luis was thanking Graciela. He says, gracias, amiga. BJ says, oh, we read this one. Victor saying namaskar. Namaskar, Victor. It's your first time. Make sure you join us next week, okay? I want to give you a nice, proper welcome next time. But there's a great welcome from Karen. Lalit Mohan feeling loved. That's good. And thank you, BJ. Bebe giving some love. Hi, Bebe. Is this your first time here? Maybe in our last few minutes, we can just learn that about you. Tell us where you're joining us from. Jake, you love the metaphor. Is that the metaphor about the roommate? Okay, if you like that metaphor, thanks. Let me know if that's the one you're referring to. Angie, hi from Australia. Happy to be here. It's so nice to have you, Angie. Thanks for telling us where you're joining us from. If this is your first time, let us know. And we have here Kimono. Hello, namaskar. Welcome. Is this your first time here? Thomas, he says, thank you, Gustavo. I also have a kid. And Thomas says, un año de un año. Okay, he's 1 year old. Nice. I have a 1 year old baby too, Thomas. That's nice to have in common with you. Is this your second or third time? Let us know. Alicia, giving love. Alicia, refraining from anger, very helpful. Reframing anger, very helpful. Yes, exactly. Anger is like, the result of all these other ones. It's all. So when we understand that, then we can see that we can control. If I'm feeling jealous, well, then at least I won't get angry at that person or have anger and do something destructive. If I feel particularly greedy about something, I won't let it lead to anger. When it comes to the point of anger is when we've lost control, because I mentioned how you lose control with anger. You start to shake, you can't speak, you can't think. Try not to get to that point. Thomas says, my second time. Excellent. Thanks for joining, Thomas. You're getting there, okay? I'd love for you to come 4 times, try out our program, eventually learn another meditation lesson that we have to offer. Keep that in mind. And Kimono, your first time. Wonderful. Well, we're here every Saturday at this time, okay? I have been the roommate in my room avoiding. Thank you for sharing, Alicia. It's just, that's a metaphor for suppression. And of course, in that situation, that could be a very real conflict with somebody else that should get resolved. But the metaphor of the roommate was avoiding suppression. You will not get rid of lust. You will not get rid of anger. You will not get rid of any of these that we've talked about. They are not going anywhere. They're staying right in the mind. What we have to do is reframe them, re-express them. And since we brought that up, hopefully the point has been made. I was going to give you a couple of more resources. Actually, you know what? Let me give you this link. I'm going to give you this link where you can continue your study on this topic. Here's actually some quotes from my guru on this topic, okay? So check out this link and get a little more insight. What am I looking for here? I lost my page. get a little more insight on how to transform these emotions better, straight from my guru's teachings. All right, let's go ahead and close. Here's the last announcement for today. The last announcement is that later today, hopefully, actually very soon, maybe in the next hour or two, I'm going to be releasing a new video on Tantra Thoughts. Okay, it's a video for you. It's a video for our community. The topic is 6 questions about Tantra answered. 6 questions about Tantra answered. It's actually an interview. All right, somebody, my dear sister, Mayra, she interviewed me, and we put the interview on the channel. So if you want to learn more about Tantra, you might find some answers in these 6 questions. I highly encourage you to check it out. Okay, watch it, enjoy it. If you can, leave a comment. That would be wonderful. Share your thoughts on it. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining today. I love you all very much, and I look forward to seeing you in that video later today. Namaskar.